Bro, तिमी recently त्यो South Africa को you went to kind of music, right?
I really want to kind of music, yeah.
Guys I wanted to watch. What's the experience?
Yeah, it was an experience and a half. It's turned up on a lot of different substances.
Bro, उनीहरूको त्यो move they streamed almost 100 billion or something.
Damn, that was popular.
Yeah, that shit is
Still popular. You know how it is, man. Yeah, it was crazy. Their concert. So it's funny. We had this VIP, so you get like this VIP parking or whatever bullshit, and then that parker, and then our friends just go to use the bathroom, and then as they're in the bathroom, we see kind of music walking towards the stall, and then they didn't even know. It's just opened the door. My friends were like startled, and it was just them, and then she didn't even realize it was them, and then we just walked to the car.
I was watching मेरो नियोको साथीहरुको क्लिप्सहरु. I was like, bro, I want to go there. The only place they're gonna play next is uta रहेछ England the one I can make it. Or the
Summer they have like visa or whatever, residence, whatever they have and shit. But yeah, I think my friends went in Miami.
Oh, that'd be lit, bro. Miami.
There's a lot of cool little things in this house. I can't even lie. So many cool little things. Like those benches are clutch. Those are so clean. Actually, I fuck with that. That's sick.
You ready? I'm ready, bro. Check.
Check.
लगाइराखेँ
The AM PM hat.
Yo, he's certified AM PM.
That's it. Yeah, facts.
All right. I start गरौँ हैन. We good? Recording छ है? Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. अनि ठिकै छ. म बसी आफै अब try गर्छु. All right, हामी start गरौँ. Okay, so before I introduce the guest today, let me introduce the person to my left, who I'm privileged to call my brother, Tashi.
Thank you.
Tell a little about yourself. तपाईँको pronouns, adjectives के छ?
मेरो he अनि अर्को के हुन्छ रे के? Oh, simple. My name is Tashi. I'm the co-host हैन. Looking forward to this year a new journey भनौँला. Last time last video Sonam Brole भने जस्तो new things coming up, so this is one of them. I'm going to be joining Abhishek as much as possible on his podcast go journey ma, and hopefully we'll be doing something soon as well. We're talking about it, so this is just a start. And yeah, going towards our guest.
All right, please do the intro, bro.
So we have right off the bat, gotta ask you, man. I'm gonna come off to you real hard, being a young Nepalese Canadian. I saw the last video, man. 150K a month, man. You gotta tell us about that, man. Tell us about that, man. 150K a month. Nepalese guy, man. You have to share something.
I mean, there's Nepalese doing more than me, man. I think they're just hidden, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I got started early, bro. I would just say that, and I was lucky to be in an industry where it grew heavily. I was Sano Nibel. I guess I can speak.
Yeah.
Sano Nibelani, or like in high school, not Sano. In high school, like marketing class, I used to tell my teachers like social media is the next thing. Social media. So I just bet a lot on social media when I was younger, and then yeah, man, that honestly just I got blessed. All
right, so that was backstory of intro to after name.
Yes, please. Please introduce yourself.
Name is Parikchhit from Bhaktapur, but raised in Toronto. I came here probably like 17 years ago with my family, and yeah, man, just been here ever since.
In your, I saw Timur videos, man. You mentioned a lot about your village that you grew up on. Like, what do you remember before coming to Canada?
Everything.
Tell us a little bit.
Going to school, flipping anything you can think of. The guys, the flipping. The goats and shit, like everything, bro, like the full on village life. Like, bro, I remember just us even just playing cards as young and gambling, bro. Like when I tell you everything, I remember everything very vividly. And then that transition was interesting as well, like just one day you guys like, yeah, you're gonna go to Canada. And then I remember even in school, like the teachers would like, I remember I think after announcement, like, they were candy, and And then the teacher says, "Oh, timate dinani pardena, Canada jadechau." I remember like little things like that. But yeah, I have a strong memory of everywhere, like from Nepal period, I'll say.
What age did you come here?
I was 8 years old, about to turn 9. Yeah, very young, yeah.
Very young, man. Very young. 8 years old. Go. Azai memory,
Every memory, bro. Like everything I remember, yeah.
Damn, 8 years. And how's the transition about your time? You were young, Neo. But compared to most of our viewers who live in Canada right now, and they recently just came about college, university, go transition period, but you came here 8 years old, man. That's a long time ago, and you were young. So how was that?
It was fully different. I mean, we landed December 6th, so that's winter. So imagine, I think before Kathmandu, actually, like it snowed once. I remember it was a Valentine's Day too. And that was the only time I remember seeing snow. And then after I landed here, and then everything was like a shock. Like going home that day, hot water on demand didn't make sense. Microwave. My dad had cereals every.
Like then, yes, hot water on demand.
Yeah, like everything was just such a shock, right? Going to the mall, going to grocery stores in Nepal, like. You tell him what you want and he grabs it for you, right? So like even like the concept of grocery stores was just like
no load shedding as well.
No load shedding, right? And then even school let's say like, bro, I didn't realize how dumb these kids were. Not dumb, but I realized it's like or how much they coddle us because Nepal was like, all right, 10 minutes, write 2 pages or whatever. They're like, okay, paragraph, you guys write a paragraph before you leave, like 30 minutes or whatever, right? So like everything was just like a huge shift, and yeah, it was an interesting time, man. I was thinking about and I got really fat as well because I just started eating so much when I came.
That was another transition right there.
Yeah, that was another transition. Exactly. No, literally from like a little twig to like I was chubby, bro. Just like there's abundance of food, I guess, for the first time in a while.
Where'd you come straight to? Malton,
Malton, I've been staying in Malton since, bro. I love Malton. I would say it's one of my favorite areas in Toronto because, I mean, I don't, like, not to spend time there, but just, like, location-wise, it's just, like, I like being close to the airport. I like being able to go anywhere in Toronto, like, 30, 40 minutes, if that, right? So, I like Malton.
And the McDonald's right there.
I mean, bro, I was telling my friends, man, there was a point in high school where I didn't pay for McDonald's for 2 years because
how'd you make that happen?
All my friends worked there.
Oh,
I remember there was
that's why.
all my friends. And then there was I remember there was one day where I was just like, all right, like, I guess today, like it was like Christmas Eve. I was like, okay, I guess after years, I'm going to go finally pay. I walk in, I see my friend who's a manager was there. He's like, oh, and I just got like $50 worth of food for free. So yeah, no, man, that McDonald's is a legendary place, bro.
Probably a lot of $50 for their bounty.
That's a lot. That's a lot of that. Then this is like 10 years ago, so this is like a lot of.
I let the $50. Okay, Big Mac order, fries, drinks, maybe a
right?
dessert.
Maybe 4 or 5 items. But back then it was like it was for the whole family. I went for like just to get for the family, and yeah, that's crazy, man. But yeah,
talking about your family, this might be a little personal, but tell me what sacrifices you've seen your parents do.
Oh, bro, like all sorts, right? I mean, even my dad originally, like even him, he had a great life in Nepal, bro. He had a great job. I think he was a paralegal there. He was like, doing real estate deals too. So he was making really good money, right? We lived like a very great life, whatever. And then I guess when an opportunity came, he just decided, he wanted to like take the risk. Because I think what he told me was like, he just wants to, he's like, you only live one life. You got to explore, right? So he just took that risk. No one supported him. Like literally, bro, no one supported him. No one on his side, no one on my mom's side. Like no one supported him, but he still, got the money together just to even like apply and stuff. And actually, he told me a very interesting story. I've never actually told this publicly about how he came. So he was a paralegal, and he used to say that, after everyone used to go to this bar, and then politicians, after a day of not working, they would just be drinking there. And then he said he overheard a event happening in the Metro Convention Center there. It was like a worldwide event. And so my dad and his friend applied, right? Again, no one supported him. And they actually got denied. Their visa got denied. But what happened was someone in Toronto apparently wrote a Toronto Star article about how the Canadian government denied everyone from this small country called Nepal, even though like it's a worldwide event. That article got traction, and anyone that was denied got reapproved. So like literally, I don't know who that guy who wrote the article is. I've been trying to find it as well. My dad told me the story. I don't even know if he's tried to look at who this person wrote it. So because some guy decided to write an article, like I'm here, bro. It's crazy. Crazy to think about. You know what I mean? Like he was fully denied, and he's like, all right, it is what it is. Like visa Like it was, especially back then, it was like damn near impossible to come. So he just like accepted it. And then a couple of days later, they all got a call that you're approved. So it was crazy, man.
That's wild.
Yeah, crazy.
All right, let's talk about what you do actually. So, explain what you do to us, like with 5-year-old.
Yeah, no worries, man. So I originally, like my space, like or my expertise has always been online marketing, and marketing in general. So I started a business in high school called Mint Ave, which is, you know, an email marketing business. So when I was trying different stuff, right, I was drop shipping, all this other different business. Like I wanted to be a fitness trainer at one point, all this, right? I was just trying so much stuff, and, you know, I got really good at email marketing, right? Like marketing through emails. So I'd also made a lot of friends from like the e-commerce or whatever. So I just started like reaching out, hey, can I like write your emails for you, right? And man, I was so broke then. I would have done it for like a couple $100s. But there was this kid, man. I remember in high school, there was this kid. He was making $15,000 a day selling fake AirPods. And I was about to graduate high school and I had like $400 in my bank account. I was like, bro, like this doesn't make sense. So I'm like, I want a piece of this guy, like a pie, whatever he's going on too, right? So he originally wanted to hire me for like Facebook ads or whatever. But I was like, nah, like, you know, like he had his whole deal about like, once you make me money, I'll give you a percentage. I was like, nah. So I thought, okay, well, can I sell them? And I learned the skill of emails through just doing my own things, trying things, right? That I pitched him on emails. And like I said, I was so broke, bro. I had like $400 in my bank account. I would have taken $200. I would have taken $300. But since he was making so much, I got greedy. So I said $2,000, right? And like after a couple back and forth, like he actually agreed to it and paid me the $2,000. And I, bro, like that $2,000 like changed my whole life, because like I put a down payment on my braces. I bought a ticket to like this New York event I've been wanting to go to, right? I was graduating around that time too. But what actually also happened was that month I made that guy $11,000. So it was like a win-win situation, right? And I was like, wow, like this guy won. I made him money and he paid me. Like we were both winners in the situation. So I was like, I can just do this for people. So that's actually how I started, like how I like made my first like money that was actually like, you know, that was like tangible, I guess. Because even when I was doing drop shipping, I was making some money. But anyone that knows drop shipping, if you don't have your numbers right, like I remember when me and my friend, we used to have this clothing brand called Drip Drop Tees. This is before emails, because before emails, I tried a bunch of stuff. You know, after I did the P&L for the month, bro, it was less than if I worked a job, right? Like for like, we had made like 5,000, 10,000, right? Like in revenue, but I'm doing the math and I'm like, we're like, bro, like we have to split $900, me and you. And we just like, you know, like spent a lot of time. So email was like what gave me money that was tangible. Then I just started reaching out to people around me, right? I said, hey, like, let me do your emails. And what started as just me as a freelancer, slowly started building a team. And, you know, it's become what it's now. And, you know, since I've been doing it for a while, I needed a little bit of a change. So last year I started doing events as well for entrepreneurs, right? So it started with emails, and I forgot actually another huge part. And while I was doing emails, so many, you know, they were asking me like, hey, like, what is it that you do? Can we learn? So I just decided to just drop a course, like a program. And then people were just joining that program as well. And like, I just thought nothing of it. I'm like, people pay me money, you know, some people are getting results, whatever. But then I started seeing like my close friends do emails and like change their life. Guys that worked at Costco that are making money now. The guys, you know, they used to sell drugs that are making money with emails. Like shit, it actually like changed the way I thought. And then, you know, so I was just going for a while. I was just doing email. I was either writing emails for people or I was teaching people how to do email marketing. And then the events came like last year when, you know, I wanted to just I've always liked events. So I just want to start doing that. Sorry, I gave a very long-winded answer, but that's what I do.
I have a quick question on that. So I'm sure this is something that most of our viewers watching or listeners, they have in mind. How do you, from such a simple thing as email, how do you like actually make money off that? Like, how does it work? Like, can you give us an example? Like, email, let's say in one of your videos, you're talking about Amazon, emails, they made money. So, like, for you, how do you make money out of that? Like, email is such a simple thing. For us, we think about email on it. We just write an email, send it, that's it. But how do you actually make money from that, man?
For sure. I think, you know, I was reading something earlier. It says, you know, wealth creation is like it's a skill. Like even like let's look at Elon, right? The reason he's worth 400 billion or whatever number is because he's brought on trillions of dollars in value to the market. Like Tesla's worth trillions and he's worth a couple of billion because of that. So, you know, I had this skill and I went to businesses already making money and I said, hey, I know I can make you more money because you're not utilizing this thing that I know is important for your business and is actually like you guys go on your emails, you'll see promotional, like, you know, during New Year's, Christmas, you're probably getting emails saying, hey, Christmas sale, New Year's sale, right? If you just take away all the technical things, it's just a communication channel, right? I'm just reaching out. If you're in my email list, I'm just talking to you, right? So once you think of it like that, then it's like, okay, like, how can I, you know, and then if you're in my email list, you're either my lead prospect or a customer, right? So it's like, how do we communicate with you so you can continue buying our products, or if you've never bought, buy our products, right? So yeah, man, like marketing, you know, there's so many, like everyone focuses on like, you know, Facebook ads, all this, but email marketing is one of the oldest marketing channels, still very effective because everyone checks their emails, right? So yeah, that's what we did. I mean, I just went to businesses that were making money. I said, hey, let me make you money through this channel you're not using, and then you just pay me a percentage of that. So, you know, the reason I made money is because I made my clients literally millions of dollars. Even in our business, I was talking to my business partner, you know, the other day, and he said like, there's clients where we've made them $1.8 million in a month. Right? Just off email, just from emails, just from our efforts. So if they pay us 5,000, 10,000, like what is that, right? See what I mean? So yeah, that's how you get paid, right? It's like, and that's how I think wealth creation happens, period, is you need to bring upon value. Like you can't just, I always say, you know, like money and opportunities just don't come out of thin air. It comes from people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
If you could name drop, who are your biggest clients?
On the email side, we have some clients. Okay, I can't say certain names just because, like, you know, they're like, I think back in the days I was more open to, but I've worked with some of the biggest brands like Fit Tea. You know, they were huge back in the days. Probably the creators of influencer marketing. But what I would say is, I went to get a manicure the other day, and as a joke, I just asked the guy if they had. So one of our clients is a nail polish brand. So I asked him if they had any. And he pointed, and it was a wall full of their nail polish, right? So that was like, things like that were kind of cool. But yeah, the e-commerce space specifically, I think it's just like, you know, tough to name, especially having business partners and like, you know, contracts in place. But outside of that, like even just working with people, I would say I've worked with like, you know, different influencers and stuff. But yeah.
So in this space, Timro, like whenever you're like, because you started so young, did you have any mentors?
Oh, 100%, bro. One of my early mentors that actually got me into business was this Nepali guy. He used to be the former president of NRN called Bhavan Bhatta. I don't know if you guys know him. He's from Japan. So he's a Japanese entrepreneur. And my dad was very involved in NRN. So I got to meet this really rich guy from Japan when I was like 13, 14 years old. And, you know, I wanted to do like software engineer or some bullshit then. And then I remember, bro, I still remember this day vividly. We go downtown to meet my dad's friend. You know, we pick him up, we go to Niagara. And I remember he just had a bunch of cash on him. And like, I'm such a kid. I was so impressionable, right? And then we're about to go to, we were about to go down to the falls, but they said it's a 30-minute wait. And he's like, no, let's not wait. Let's just go. I bring that up because that day also made me realize how like rich people like value their time. Because like he didn't care if he was in Toronto and Niagara Falls. He's like 30 minutes wait to just go, like, let's just go. And then we went to the CN Tower. I don't know if you guys know, there's a restaurant on top. So we went to the 360 restaurant, and like, bro, like, mind you, it's not even that expensive. But I was a kid, and it left such an impression on me that I was like, I need to get rich. You know what I'm saying? So that was one of my early mentors. And the one that really, like, you know, who really helped me like day to day and even helped me intern and everything. It's this guy named Brandon Carter. At King Keto Online. You know, I started watching his fitness videos, and he was starting making more like business and self-development and personal growth content. And it really spoke to me. And, you know, like that's actually the reason I have the nickname Splash. Yeah, is because that used to be my PSN, and I used to ask my mentor Brandon. He used to have a Q&A every Sunday, and I would ask a question every Sunday, and it would come up as Splash. So it became like a reoccurring thing. You know, like Splash asking a question. And when I met him in real life, like he recognized me. He's like, oh, Splash, right? So I've always said, you know, and then the day I met him, he taught me about a software, which is Klaviyo, which all of our clients are on. Like our business runs because of this software. So imagine, like, I got to meet my role model, having the nickname, and that dinner, I got to learn the thing that makes me money. And around this time, like Brandon was a huge part of me, like learning emails and like getting really good at sales and marketing too. So yeah, Brandon Carter, man, that guy, without Brandon Carter, there's no Splash, man. I always say, you know.
I mean, everything aligned for you.
Yeah, man, 100%, bro. I've been very blessed, man. I've been very blessed.
So mentor, honestly, I think it's very important. And if you're someone who don't really have someone to look up to, you definitely need to go out there more, man. Like find out someone who's doing better than you, and just kind of
pay them, man. I would say, I mean, I paid him. You know, now our relationship is not like, it doesn't have that, but I think a lot of people, like, they don't, like, you know what I've learned from, like, what I've learned is, like, you can't give rich people value because they can just pay for it. You want to work for them for free? No, they rather pay for it because actually, like, they rather pay for it. Like, I know that too. Even me, like, I'd rather pay for something than, like, have someone give it to me for free, right? Because, like, you know, there's like a quality thing to it too, right? So even then, like, I realized, like, oh, like, one of the ways I can be value to this guy is, like, let me join his thing and let me, like, become like a success story for him, right? And that's how I actually got cool with him, is like being a success story. Like, when he just recognized me as Splash, it was just like another, this guy I know from online, right? But I was actually trying business stuff and I was doing a lot then, and he saw that in me too, right? And then I joined this program which showed that, oh, like, this guy's 17, he just, you know, paid $1,000 for this, like, he's dedicated. And mind you, he actually even refunded me, I think, down the line. But, you know, like, I paid for those rooms, like access to rooms, and I still do all the time. I pay for people's time all the time. I think it's one of the, if people are offering that where you can pay for people's time and they're where you want to be, I think you should definitely do it.
Is that why you started your own events?
My events, my sole purpose of doing events was, I mean, most of the things I sold were email marketing related. So I wanted something more broad that even you guys could come to, right? And I would love for you guys to come to the next one. But yeah, I mean, my goal was, you know, the day I met Brandon Carter, it was because he did an event in Toronto. So like how I got started in this whole thing is like an event. So, you know, I wanted to provide that same environment for a lot of people, right? And in Toronto, there's not many people doing a lot of them. So yeah, that's why like it was just to expand the network and just bring people together. You know what I mean? I would say like that was the main reason I started doing events, and so much more has come out of it. People have become partners. People have, you know, like new people have met each other, right? So yeah, like that's why I love doing events, man. Just like people, man, people. You know, I think people forget how important people are in everything that you do. Like I've said, right? Opportunities don't come out of thin air; they come from people. So that was the reason I do it.
Real quick, so talk to us about your first ever event and your next event as well. I know your next event is happening in Nepal.
Oh yes, those events. I mean, I don't even count those as like events, because those are just like meetups I do for free, right? And it's crazy that you bring that up. So whenever I used to go to Nepal, I just did free meetups, and every year I go, like, it's crazy because like these kids are like, yo, brother, like, you know, I started doing this thing because of your free meetup, and to me it was just me 2 hours just ranting in a room. But, you know, a year I'll come back like, yo, brother, I'm earning this much. I actually do emails now, or I do this now. So it's been sick to see. So that when I go back to Nepal next month, I'm going to do that. But my first ever event that I've done officially for elite entrepreneurs was in 2024 May. We did it in like this basement of a hotel, like a meeting room. Yeah, pretty recent. I mean, I've done like I said, the free events in Nepal from like, you know, 2022 and all that. We've had meetups in Toronto. I mean, I've done events when I was still in school. Like in 2018, I have a picture of me talking about email marketing to a group of like 6 people. It was like a private mastermind. So we've always done events. I've always done that. But yeah, the official like Elite Entrepreneurs, our company, May 2024 is when we started. And, you know, in 3 weeks notice, we had 100 people there. And the next event, like the Elite Entrepreneurs event, it's going to be June in Toronto, and we're trying to make it like bigger than ever.
You're going to be there for sure. Huh?
Yeah, 100%. You got to be there.
First event, you know, through Hotel X Wala.
Hotel, no, that was the third event. So that's the most recent event, Hotel X event. That one was that was the biggest one yet, and that's a huge. I think that was an exponential growth in what we were able to do and what the experience we were able to provide for the people that came. It was really nice, man. More expensive and everything too, but it was so worth it. And
what was the turnout like?
Turnout, I think we had almost 200 people come throughout the day. We had people flying from like Europe, you know, America. I think like, you know, different cities and countries like that. But it was a dope event, man. Everyone said like it exceeded their expectations, and me and my team are looking at each other. I'm like, man, I think that was like 25% of our potential, you know, like genuinely, because even my event planner, you know, the GOAT, shout out I met her 3 weeks before my last event. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like I was telling her, like, imagine now we have 6 months to work together towards like this event. Like, I think we can, like, people thought like, whoa, like, you know, 10 out of 10, you exceeded our expectations. Me and her were just like, yo, we didn't even scratch the surface.
She's the same person for the coffee event, right?
Yes, she is. She helps out at the coffee party. I was there at the last one. Yeah.
They're crazy.
You DJ, right?
Huh?
You DJ?
No, just a little bit. He DJs, but we went to see a DJ. Only because of that we went. But first, me coffee event like that shit was so crazy, you know. I think it was in Liberty City. The whole block was like lined up, you know, and we couldn't even get in, even if you had tickets. The turnout for them is like crazy in a year.
Yeah, it's all through ads. I mean, you know, live events. I think Elon Musk with his podcast on Nikhil said it recently. It's one of the fastest growing industries, especially after COVID. And you know, I think people want to just be around more. And think about it, Coffee Party. I just went to their 1 year party like 2 weeks ago. So they've been running for a year, and they've been able to have turnouts like that. It's crazy, man. Very, very sick to see what they've done.
I hope you do the same thing with your events, bro. Like, just not in Toronto, but Aru areas, like.
Yeah, we're gonna do one in Miami this year for sure. I go to Cape Town every year, so we planned a Cape Town event, but I'm not going this year, or like, you know, not this summer again. So, but yeah, Toronto, Miami, and then we're gonna be just doing small scale events, workshops, all that.
That's crazy.
And you know, like you said, something I haven't utilized as much that I need to, which they have really done well. And I think this is what their growth came from, was ads, you know, just running ads. So this time around as well, we're going to put more marketing budget into ads and really make that a focus. And I think, you know, now I've learned so much. I have a proper team. Now I can do a lot, because before, like I was telling you guys, you know, even with my podcast, I was playing like all the hats. I was the partnerships manager, event planner, speaker, the host, all that. So it was a little bit much, man. It was a little bit much. Yeah.
You yourself had a podcast and a business cookie garden. I saw a few clips. Like, do you still continue that or no?
Yeah, I mean, I started that podcast in 2020. I've had guys like Iman Gadzhi, you know, Brandon Carter, Shelby Sapp, and all that on. And throughout the years, I've just been periodically doing it. But in 2026, I'm going to bring it back and like full fledged, be consistent, go really, really strong with it. I really, really do enjoy, you know, I think me naturally, I'm a curious guy. And I like conversations, you know what I'm saying? So I think, yeah, I'm gonna bring it back, and I already have some episodes lined up, so just waiting for the drop.
You do my so few episodes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have some great people on. I think, you know, I've been blessed to have a great network. So, you know, the events and podcasts, it just goes in on my strength, which has always been people and my network and bringing people together.
Yeah, I feel like speaking to you up until now, like communication to khatra raisa, brother.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it takes a lot. Like, I can just imagine, like, when you do events and you're just talking for the like 2 hours, I'm just like so curious, like, how would you even like go on about it, you know, like perfect.
Yeah, I mean, bro, you guys say this, but I'm speaking in Dubai in 3 weeks at this like huge event. Some of the biggest entrepreneurs in our space are gonna be there, and like I've been fucking nervous as shit. I can't even lie. Or like I just, you know, I've just been working on it, man. But yeah, no, I mean, I'll be honest, bro. I used to tell people this all the time, man. I used to be, you know, growing up, like I was very in it, like, you know, the word sojo. Like all my family, growing up, everyone said, "Oh, ekdamai sojo man." You know, like I was a quiet kid as well. And I think whenever I started making content, or whenever I started getting into business, I saw my friends starting to make videos, and they made money off it, and they got rich. You know, they were like, we're 18, 19, they're making money traveling the world because they make videos. So I had to look at myself, and I was like, bro, like I remember I was so locked in then. Like I definitely got made fun of for making YouTube videos when I was in high school. And you know, like the hate didn't even enter my mind, because I was like, this is what I got to do to make money. Like it was just like, to me, they were stupid, because I was like, no, you guys don't get it. Like, I'll fucking make money if I do this, right? But they were just like, oh, yo, you're a YouTuber now, this, that. But anyways, doing that is what helped me kind of get better at my speech, because I was telling you, bro, in grade 9, I used to be scared to call the school to ask, like, when, you know, the school day is and, like, what time it starts, because I used to have to pump myself. I used to literally have to watch motivational videos to call the fucking school to be like, hey, like, what day does school start again? Sorry, after summer, like, you know. So yeah, it's a skill, man. I'll tell everyone, like, no matter, I definitely was a shy kid. Everyone knows it. And I'm like one of the most outgoing person now. So it's a skill, bro. I would say it's a skill.
Yeah, because mind you, English is not even your first language.
It's not, exactly. English is my second language, man. That's crazy. I guess for, you know, in Nepal, I would say I got blessed with going to a really great school where they were strict on the English side as well. I think English class, Nepali bole, they make you write like 2 pages and shit. So, and then also when I was young, my uncle would just like have, you know, he used to be in university then. So he just used to bring me his book, and I'll just read, not to understand, but just to read, right? So yeah, I got blessed, man. I got blessed, and it's skill, man. I just worked on it, man. I looked at if you look at some of my old videos, like I have zero tonality, I have no character, you know. It's just like I'm just speaking. But then like as you do more and more and more, like you kind of like find your voice, I say, you know.
Splash Brother को पनि podcast पहिले गरेको थियो रहेछ. Earlier we spoke a little bit about how एउटा podcast को audio
Man, so yeah, I mean that's one of the reasons. Like when I want to start it, I want to do it right because like I travel around, right, and I always meet dope entrepreneurs. So I'm always trying to do podcasts with them, and I have had some amazing podcasts with just off the whim. So this one in Cape Town, probably the biggest female entrepreneur right now in the space, Shelby Sapp. We had similar mutual friends, so I asked her to do a podcast with me and she agreed, really, really dope person. Very, honestly, very down to earth for where she's at, man. She's one of the dopest person I've met. And she was down to do the podcast. We did the podcast and I sent the files to my editor and he's like, brother, there's no audio.
Yeah.
That's the worst thing. I just gotta.
I know.
What do you mean there's no the worst? I was like, what do you mean there's no audio, man? And mind you, bro, I've had this more than once too because, I've been the flipping creative director, the podcast host and everything as well. And I realized what happened was because, we had spent the whole day at a wine farm. This day we filmed, it was a group of us, bro. We spent the whole day at the wine farm drinking whatever. And I had the flight the next day and she had the flight the day after. So I'm like, we have to do it tonight. So go home, grab our stuff, go to their place to film, realize I forgot the aux cord or the aux cable. So I see my friend there. I was like, yo, can I borrow your aux cable? I think that's where, I don't know, something with his aux cable. And mind you, man, I was in the host mode, so I'm not even looking at my thing. And man, that was one very costly, not costly money wise, but I know me and her are gonna do a podcast again, in the future. So I'm not too worried, but that was an L on my end.
Yeah, before we even came to the shit, because he was kind of busy, I was going through my head oh, now how do I plan this out? And even the location today, because we were planning to do Kensington, but then something came up, and then we had to switch location. I'm like, going through the. Hey man, ki birsala, yo. Trust me, I feel you.
And that's why, I think, I was telling you, when I start, man, I think even when we build, when I get my office/studio, I'm just gonna make it where I just sit down and I'm gonna have someone there where it's this is all your. My mentor taught me this because in his, because he does a live podcast in his content room. He has a thing where it's the camera's there and everything there is only for that room. Don't fucking touch it. And they're in a certain angle. It's so he can just sit down and record and he has someone that comes and helps him, right? But, I think, the reason for that is because, you want to just focus on what you're good at, right? Which is just talking. I remember I've done interviews. Even recently I did an interview with one of my client/student in Cape Town. And I'm still having a trip out about random little shit. And it makes you... if you're worried about if the battery's dead or not or this, that, you're not present in the conversation. So it kind of ruins the flow as well, right? So I've done a good job trying to not do that, but yeah, what I'm saying? That's why I can't wait to just fucking have a solid team.
Yeah, next time you can just DM me, bro. I'll be right there.
I got
Especially
you, bro.
Malton, you live right there.
Yeah, 100%, bro, 100%. The plan is to do I want to do a bunch of in-person. We have some online one as well, but yeah, no, bro. I'm taking on less roles this 2026, man. More outsourcing, more delegation.
Well, business apart, from all the work and everything, what do you do for pleasure? Of a fun, your free time? What does your free time look like?
For sure, man. I love. I travel a good amount. I like change, man. So I can't just stay in one spot. So I like just moving around a lot. I like sports still. I play basketball. I go to the gym. I've been honestly recently enjoying just listening to audiobooks because you guys know how Toronto is, man. So probably half the day I'm spending in my car. So I've just used that to just kind of learn. And honestly, bro, I would say this is a recent thing for me. I've just I just like spending time with my friends and the great people I have in my circle. I'm honestly very blessed to have some amazing people in my life. So just hanging out with them in my free time, that's my favorite thing to do. We come, to your area, yeah, of course, man. So that was even when my friend Pukar was here, man. It would just be I would just tell him, he's like, yo, Tamil, let's go tonight, Mantra, you guys want to go? Let's go, bro. So I like just hanging out, man. That's my favorite thing to do. Just hang out, have great conversations. And when I travel, just exploring new places. But yeah, I've calmed down a lot. I would say, I've just valued peace and just quiet much more, man.
Next for you is golf, huh?
Oh, I golf. I started golfing. Yeah. I actually, so funny you say that. It's very funny you say that. I've been having these thoughts recently. So I play a lot of sports. I know, I'm a sports head, period. Even right after this, I'm going to go watch the NFL playoffs. Oh, yeah. Playoff NFL. Yeah, there's 2 games tonight. So I love sports, all type of sports, you know. But now, like my knees, I'm getting a little bit older for flipping basketball because I play very intensely and I've had previous injuries. Started playing paddle, which is like a, you know, like
Oh, paddle's
Yeah,
good. Yeah, we play that. All three.
yeah, bro. I love paddle as well.
Vlog.
That's amazing, man. I like that's one I really like that as well. But I think you know, I realized like I'm gonna dedicate my time and energy to one sport, and that's gonna be golf because I started golfing 3 years ago by accident. Like my friends took me to Top Golf like in the past, and when I just couldn't hit the ball, I just had so much respect for every golfer. And
That was
bro,
me,
golfing
that was me as well.
is the hardest sport ever. It's the most humbling sport. Anyone like that's why whatever Tiger Woods has done is probably one of the it's so impressive because like, you know, it's hard to be perfect, right?
It's that small detail.
It's
you know,
it's
that
the detail,
small details you
and
have
it's
to
all in the
calculate
mental, right?
everything.
Like let's say, you know, I've had times where I've had a birdie look, and I fuck up the putt, and like now that's like fucking with my head, and like we're going to the next hole, like you know, so it's a very humbling game, and I think as I got older, I really enjoyed the journey of golf. You know what I'm saying? I love, and I know I'm going to be playing it for a long time, and it takes a long time to get good at golf. So I didn't really play that much last summer. Towards the end, I played one game because I wanted to just kind of focus on my event. I had a lot of things going on, you know, personal life, business life. But I got the itch back like end of the year last year, and I was just like, yeah, this year I'm going to get coaching, and yeah, I'm going to play a lot of golf, man. I think it's one of my favorite sports. Just
You might have to train us, eh? I mean,
Takes a lot of patience.
I'm not a person to train, but I'm not that good.
The funny thing is, you know, Malton, there's a golf range,
Yeah. I go to it all the time.
Toronto or something like that.
I
I range or something. I just saw that like last week because I saw people coming in there.
Tilpani, like that's one aspect of golf. Driving, you're only doing that the beginning of the hole, and most holes you might not even do it. So there's like, you know, chipping, like putting, like that is.
I hate putting,
right?
bro.
Yeah, that's probably the most important part, right? Because like that determines your actual score. Like I've had moments where you get the ball in two, and then it took me 3 putts to get it in.
That actually takes so much patience, and I don't have patience at all.
Yeah, honestly,
Very
very interesting point. So like the reason I want to also just go into golf is like patience, bro. Like I think in my life, like even recently, bro, I've been trying to just exercise more patience, even in my driving, bro. Like, you know, not taking the next lane when it's open, just like sitting behind this guy, because like I'm like the difference is maybe 1-2 minutes, but you know, like I realized in the fast world, apparently, you know what I'm saying, like it's hard to have patience, and it's like a forgotten trait that is probably one of the most important when it comes to business and success, right? Because I was telling my friend this the other day, you know, sometimes you can be doing the right thing. Every day you're doing the right thing. You're doing it right. You know, you're working on your business. You couldn't do more and you couldn't do less. And that's because you just have to allow time to do its thing, right? So it's not even like you couldn't change what you do tomorrow to force an earlier result. Like literally you have to allow time to do that, right? So that's like a trait I've been trying to just kind of exercise more, just patience, because, you know, a lot of things in life, they just take time, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, so you've been talking about, okay, because we're jumping right back into the business. We're talking about people. So how much do you believe like your net worth is your net worth?
100%, bro. I'm a big believer in that. I mean, you know, every opportunity I've got, everything, it's all come from my network. The event business was successful because of my network. When I started my email business because of my network. When I started email coaching because of my network, right? So network is your net worth, but I think people sometimes kind of misconstrue that point or like that, right? And then they will hear this and they'll start going to events and start like, oh, I need to go network, right? But my biggest networking thing has actually been an anti-networking tactic, which is focusing on myself, right? Because what I've learned is that if you focus on yourself and you are worth being networkable, like people come to you, right? So like, I'll give you an example. I remember when I first started, I used to DM some guy on Instagram, like, hey man, like, you know, we should connect, whatever, right? And probably just ignored me because he was already making YouTube. He was ahead of me. And then like a year and a half later, you know, I was just focusing on my business. I was just doing my own thing, making my own content. That same guy, he DM'd me and he's like, hey, we should collab, right? So the lesson in that is like, no matter where I would, like, you know, I've always said is like a bum in a room full of like G's is still a bum. Like you can't, you know, a person who's actually worth a while, like let's say is like a person you want to network with. If you're not networkable, like they can sense it. You know what I'm saying? So like the biggest networking tip is actually focus on yourself and like like level yourself up, because networking will not be an issue. You know what I'm saying? Like at all, if you're just that person.
I
So
think
go on. Go on.
so most of our listeners of Toronto, they're all recent to Canada, you know, they're all going through university. I'm talking about the Nepalese community itself, right? Any advice that you have, like they're just finished college or they're close to finishing college, they're in that work permit kind of process, I know. Majority of the people that I meet, they're in that phase and they ask for advice as well. I share my own ideas. Any ideas that you have, something sweet, simple, you know?
For sure. There's a good point you brought up, and actually, you know, what I did in Nepal, I actually want to start doing in Toronto as well, right? As like just like a way of giving back, because I think a lot of times what even some of the people at this time need is like hope. You know what I'm saying? And I would say even me, like when I started, brother, like it was not easy, man. I remember like damn near like I was working, and then when I was not working, I was going to the Tim Hortons to try this stuff out, and I'm just bleeding money. But the only thing that kept me going was hope. So I think that's very important, is like to never lose hope. And two, what I would say is, you know, I've had so many case studies, like the person I mentioned, Pukar, he came to Canada, May 2023. So I don't know how he found me, maybe through my content, and he joined our program, you know, back then. And he just started doing email marketing, and nothing worked out for him. He was still going to the job, he was still going to school, but it's like for 8 months he was still trying whatever. And May 2024, by the way, he came in May 2024, and he's trying all this stuff, and you know, like eventually worked out for him, right? Where like he was able to get one client, he did a good job, or like even throughout the time he was just learning, getting better. And then he got a client, and that client helped him get more client. And literally in 2 years of coming to Toronto, you know, he was able to get his own place in downtown Mississauga, like a, you know, bedroom for himself. Right now he just came from Thailand to Bali. Right now he's in Nepal. He's going to come back to Canada, right? So, and then he dropped out of school as well. The reason I bring up that story is because, you know, it's possible, one, and two, it's like, I think a lot of people like be more like him, take more risk, right? Even the same thing I said to you when I didn't pursue email marketing. I tried so many things that when it came time for an opportunity, I was equipped, right? They say luck is when opportunity means preparation, right? So if I didn't try drop shipping, if I didn't fail with all these stores, I would have never learned email marketing. So if I met this kid who was making $15,000 a day and I didn't have the skill from trying stuff, like I would have never been able to capitalize on that. So my biggest advice is take risk and try, man. Like I think a lot of people, like, you know, they're just doing what, you know, they're told, or like it's like a society thing, right? Go to school, get a job, right? Or like whatever it may look like. I think like right now we're living in some of the greatest times where there are actually opportunities everywhere, right? And a lot of these people, they actually already have a skill that can just be transitioned into like an online space or a different industry where they can actually just, you know, level that up, right? Like if you're really good at content, you know, being a content manager, whatever that might look like. So I would say, like, you know, take a lot of risk. Don't lose hope. And I would say, yeah, honestly, just try things, man. Just try things. And I would say, like, you know, I've heard this from people, and I've seen this as well. I think sometimes a lot of people just sit down and stay, like, they stay sorry for themselves, you know? And I've had that moment too, so I'm talking from experience too, right? But I think that's one of the worst things you can do. Because no matter, like, you know, trust me, everyone has problems. And, you know, I know a lot of people coming here, like, they've had situations back home. And even here, man, they have situations because living in Toronto is not easy, right? At all. It's very expensive. It's very tough. Like, that's why I even commend a lot of people. Like, you know, I came young, so I genuinely say I was lucky and blessed, right? I told this to one of my Nepalese friend in Toronto when I went back to Nepal in 2023, that I was like, yo, bro, like, we are absolutely so lucky that our parents brought her here young, because I'm seeing kids, like, every day just leaving their house at 18, 19, and they're coming to a city like Toronto, man. So, you know, it is very tough, but the worst thing you can do is believe your own bullshit and, like, you know, how, like, sorry your life is and how bad you have it. It's like, nah, man, it's just like focus on the opportunity, man. Focus on, because, you know, like in this country, man, there and wherever you are, like, there's a lot of opportunities. So it's just like about capitalizing on that.
That's true. Honestly, opportunity, you know, just go out there and try it. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Don't stick to the same routine that everyone's doing, you know. Think outside the box. Try new things. Build your own skill set. Those are the things that generally I tell people as well. And it was great listening to you, honestly. Whatever you said, everything, like, Muli Suni Anusar, I could kind of see, the people that I know, this applies to this person. I feel like I could say the exact same thing to this person.
Behavior, same thing, right? And it, like you said, right, they come to they come to a new country and are in their same circle or their same behavior back home. You know, it's like
Try something new.
yeah, this is a big city, man. Like big city, you
New
never know.
opportunities bounce up, if you stick to the same thing, then you'll expect the same thing, right? Then you start feeling sorry. I'm just the same, right?
Exactly.
Rather than that, go out, meet new people, do new things. Like go join a run club, like even if you don't know.
No, you're right, bro. You're right. You need to do stuff like that, right? Like, don't stay in your box. Like, that's something I've been trying to do more this year. Is just like do more things alone that no one else would. I'll go try a random food spot, or I'll just go to an event that no one else wants to come with, because that just keeps your mind fresh. And I think like for those that are here, like, or just come here, like it'll give you a fresh breath of energy too. You know what I'm saying? You won't feel like you're boxed in. You don't feel like this, that, because like you said, bro, like life can be tough, and don't get me wrong, bro, it's tough for, I would say, everybody, right? But it's like, like if you just sit down and just start believing your bullshit and just like kind of like, trust me, and I only say this because I went through this for like years, bro. Like I went through, because at a young age, bro, like at 21, 22, 23, I've had to live a life of a 40-year-old, right? And I've had to mature very young, and during that time, like, I did believe my bullshit. I did believe my story. I did believe, like, I did feel down. And I was like, yeah, like I was feeling down, and I accepted it, and but nothing ever good came out of that. I just made myself feel bad. Like, I never changed, right? Until I had to sit down and be like, bro, like, I'm not a fucking victim. Like, I'm not a victim, bro. Like, I'm going to make this happen, And I would say even that was very recent, right? So I'm not even trying to be like, I'm like this almighty guy. It's like, bro, trust me, I go through this shit too, like, all the time. So, but yeah, like, just don't lose hope, man. There's so much out there.
Yeah. So like you say, 2021, you live like a 40-year-old. But what was, because I consider you successful, but I don't know if you consider yourself successful as well. So what do you think was the cost of your success?
Cost of my success was a lot of things, bro. I feel like damn near my childhood, my teenagehood, right? Like fucking, at least when I was young, like I would say like I'm more tame now, but when I was young, I was just like moving very differently, right? Damn near had no social life. Like purposely, it wasn't even like no one to be friends with me. I was cool with everyone in school. Like I was the athlete, but also the smart kid. So in my school, I got along with everyone. So it wasn't even because of that, but I was just so focused, right? I was just so focused. So there was a lot of sacrifice. And then, and in 2021 as well, bro, like I bought a flipping house, bro, right? So I'm 21 with the mortgage now. And then in the the Canadian economy, where like the mortgage rates are just fluctuating. So, in the last couple of years, I had to be the man of my house while trying to build a business and trying to live life as a 20-year-old kid, like a kid in his 20s, right? And it was very overwhelming, man. And trust me, there's a lot of things that I think like, you don't get by being in this position or whatever, like whatever. But I like it, man. Because I realized I wouldn't probably have it any other way as well. And again, like I got through that point by like not believing my bullshit, I would say, if that makes sense, because like, trust me, bro, like as I was going through the things and doing all this, like, bro, like I was getting in my own head, right? Bad habits, negative thinking, I was just so down and down, man. So I think like, damn, bro, like fucking cost me my mental health. You know what I'm saying? And I've been trying to get it back now, man. But seriously, like as much as a joke, I think it's true. And I want to talk about it because I think it's such a taboo topic, but man, like that's what I was telling you, patience, peace, just chilling. Like that's why I prioritize that, man, so much more now.
But that's about as you get older, mature ones. Not everyone, just because you get old doesn't mean you'll reach the stage when it's high. This is where getting old and being mature.
I know, 100% agree with you. I know so many unmature 40, 50-year-olds, but I see them at my gym all the time, bro. Like they act like kids just to be right in a situation or just to like, like get validation. So you're right, bro. Age and maturity are not linked.
Exactly. That's 100%. About bro, hard work, success, we see it, I know. I see it on you as well. Wrist check right there.
This was a dumb impulse. I would say, bro. So when I was 20 years old, I was around. Like, see, this is what I mean as well, right? Like, I used to be very locked in, and then I moved downtown, and I started enjoying the fruits of my labor. I was around a certain circle.
One of the fruits.
Yeah, so I thought I needed to, like, you know, buy all this. So I remember I just went and bought this on a random Thursday.
A random Thursday, man. What'd you get?
Yeah, it was a day just. No, it was a day
just?
just. And then it was funny because the lady's like, "What's the special occasion?" I was like, "Oh, it was a Thursday afternoon." Just
Imagine
so corny, so corny when I think about it. So corny,
Yo, Thursday
so
flexing.
corny, so corny when I think about it. Because, okay, the story is even funny. I was not going to say it because it's making me look like a cornball, but I'll say it. So originally, I just did, because, you know, I grew up like broke as shit, right? So I had a lot of these like money mindsets still that I hadn't got rid of. Like, it's literally like, you know, like conditioning of your family, the way you grew up, right? So I realized like, oh, like I don't, my mindset is still scarcity. Like I still have a scarcity mindset sometimes. So I felt the need to go buy something to prove myself that I'm okay. Like I'm not, you know, cause like just growing up broke, bro. Like I don't know how to like, and you know, like more power to my parents, you know, like they had to live like this, right? So like and even bro, to this day, I still have that where if I go to a grocery store, I realize I'm less likely to buy certain fruits when they're not on sale. I might go spend like $100 on some stupid shit, like whatever, but then I'm gonna look at like a mango that says $5, like right? And I realized it was conditioning. So then I was like, fuck, I'm going to buy a Louis Vuitton chain.
Jeez. On a Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm getting Gucci.
It was stupid, bro. I was good. Oh, man. And this is like, you know, I'm glad I've gone through that phase and all that. I've honestly donated all my designer stuff away. I still have this one Louis Vuitton sweater that I bought for like $3,000. I've worn it 3 times. And I only kept it as a reminder of how dumb I can be. Like, I don't wear it. It says LV all over it.
Let us know when your next giveaway is. Podcast will give them when your next donation
Yo, but
is.
real shit, though, like, how much is it, like, do you think it's, like, materialistic on it? Do you think it's important when you go networking?
No. I think, you know, I take pride nowadays in, you know, I've had pieces where I'll tell people, like, guess how much it is? And they'll be like, $400? I'm like, no, I bought this for 30, right? So guys realize, like, style doesn't necessarily is linked to like how expensive an item is. And I think then, you know, I was just a kid that was young and impressionable and lost. Yeah, it's a phase, right? Exactly, right, bro. I heard a Lil Baby flipping lyric about Christian Dior on my shoes. They cost a band. I probably won't wear it again. What do? We go to Dior, fucking buy shoes, walk them out, right? Or like buy a Dior ring or like Louis Vuitton shades. Like, bro, just stupid. It was just like, again, right? Like you think like when you're young, like you're so impressionable that you don't. You know what, I want to share this with people, and this is a huge thing I've been telling everyone in my life, and I think the biggest blessing I have right now is I truly, and maybe not to 100%, but I think I know who I am, you know? I think I know who I am, and I have clarity on my life, in the sense of, I used to share this story, you know, I used to have a Lamborghini in my vision board until I had to sit down with myself one day and say, like, I've never liked cars. Why the fuck do I want a Lamborghini, right? And you realize, oh, wait, you just saw this one guy you listened to or you see with it and you thought you wanted it, right? So same way, like then it was just a phase. And now I think it's, you know, I know myself, man. I just value.
Wait, say that again?
Sorry?
Say that again? Know yourself?
Yeah, just know yourself. Know yourself.
I'll say it as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is something, I know, this is something where a lot of people still struggling to know yourself.
Yeah, no, 100%, bro.
Yeah, this
100%, bro.
Honestly, like even for me too, like to get to know who I am, it took me a while too. And even like you said, I'm not there 100%, but I kind of have an understanding of who I am, what I'm good at, what are my like skill sets, what are the things I should be doing. Right? You know, I see a clear batu ke aba. I would say in the last maybe 3-4 years is where I'm finally seeing that. Yeah. Prior to that, I was just a lost guy, just doing so many random things, working different jobs. A lot of people say I have so many experience, you know. Come closer. A lot of random experience will go, you know. But now it's like finally know yourself on it. Say to your eyes, like, yeah.
Bro, everything I'm wearing, I bought in winners, bro, except for the watch. And even this, I just pulled it out like just for this interview. But I wear my Whoop, bro. I honestly wore this watch twice in the last couple of months. I usually just give it to my mom to keep somewhere. But I was going to a nice dinner spot the other day, and then today I was like, whatever. But man, like even then, you know, like I had a phase where I like started giving a shit about watches, and now my vision board is watch. Then I'm just like you know, and I'll say this with experience, bro. Like I I was very happy the day I got the Rolex. Like, it was a whole thing. I went to my friend's house. We did a whole photo shoot. You can see on my Instagram. I went to, like, eat Italian food, all that. The next day I was still happy. And then after the 4th or 5th day, you can maybe just find this randomly in my bathroom somewhere, or like just randomly somewhere in my house, right? It lost its aura or whatever. But, when I bought this, it wasn't the item that I was happy about. It was just me sitting down and just thinking about, like, the journey, bro. I was just like, damn, bro, like, because in the game of entrepreneurship, there's no trophies, right? So you got to create your own. so even then, when I was just sitting down, it was less about the item and it was more about, like, how far I've come. So then you just realize, bro, it's just like, it's not the material, So it's like, if you think you need to wear something to feel that way, it's like you got to dig deep down. It's like, why are you not feeling that way right now? Why are you not feeling that way right now? Why? What's stopping you? Like, is it an item? So you're saying you need to, or you're going to delay this confidence you, this happy you, because of this one thing, like, it's like, and it's a misery that humans all go through. I know people, bro. I have friends that are in their 20s, multi-millionaire, that feel the same way we all do, bro. After that problem was solved, it was something else. So it's a big lesson I've learned in the last couple of months is that as a human, you're going to experience all range of emotions, right? There's no escaping anxiety. There's no escaping depression. It's just, as you get older, understanding how you can, manage your emotions, understanding how to be more emotionally mature. I'm more proud in the last year of my emotional maturity than, like, any business stuff or any, like, genuinely, like, and I can stand on that and say that rightly, bro. Like, to know that nowadays, like, things don't affect me the same way, or like how much calmer I've been. And trust me, I still have my moments. I mean, yesterday I was like yelling at a bunch of, people on the road. I still have my moments, but, I've come a long way, I would say, on that side of things.
That is dope. Listen to you, bro.
Thank you.
One thing I really hope is that for all our listeners or viewers, and they really pick up on something from each of our, like, videos, episodes, from each of our guests, learn something, apply it on yourself as well. Maybe today learn something from our guest, Anna, from Splash Brother. There you go. That's one thing I want everyone to take away from this. There's so much he experienced. He went through a lot, Anna, and he really spent time to share those moments. So I hope people really,
and I'll say to, like, your audience, which is, like, probably, like, Nepalese students, right, abroad or whatever, is like, like, there's so many people doing it, man. Like, again, I even in our program, we've got so many people, like most people that join now are Nepalese kids, right, that are, like, from Toronto or whatever. And even just being able to, I know some kids that haven't even signed a client through emails or whatever, but just seeing their growth in a year, just because, like, they wanted better for themselves, right? And then they found a way to, like you said, mentor, like that guy. And I'm gonna mention my boy B-Bake. He's a legend. I'm just, like, the guy's, he's just grinding, like, and like, just the growth I've seen in him just in the last year, and just because he's just so willing to, like, because he knows there's more to this. You know what I mean? So, like, if you know you have more to you than just working and going to school, man, like, just like you said, right, try stuff. And I've seen so many case studies of, kids, Nepali kids, Indian kids come and succeed. But, it started with them just trying. Just do it, man. Just do it. How about you guys, man? Why'd you guys start this podcast, bro? It's my podcast now. Why'd you guys start this podcast, man? I asked you.
Okay, I wanted to tell, like you said, me, I was not a very outgoing person. Like, I was outgoing, but, like, I wouldn't talk to anybody, like, because I didn't know how to hold a conversation, right? So that made me think, like, I wanted, because I've been listening to podcasts, like, since 2022 when I came here. And I started thinking to myself, like, I want to go to somebody's podcast too, but why would they invite me? I don't know. I'm like, I've not made it in life like that, somebody would call me or invite me. And even if they invite me, what do I talk about? Like, because I can't hold a conversation. And that's what I thought. I was like, I got to break out from my own, comfort zone and, like, start reaching out to people. So that's when I started. Like, I didn't know shit. I didn't know how shit worked, like how to hold a conversation. But I was like, let me just go fuck around, find out.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And, like, in the span of 2 years, like, I've connected with so many people that I would have not imagined. Like, you yourself, him.
Yeah, bro, it's so dope you guys are doing this, man. I mean, Indians are very well represented in Canada, I would say, right? Maybe overrepresented. Some guys might even say Northern Ontario people. No, I'm just playing. But I think, like, that's why, like, honestly, that's why I've been spending more time in, like, Parkdale as well, because, growing up, bro, I mean, You said you came in 2022. You've been here since
2010, man. I came December as well.
So similar, yeah. So similar time, right? So like we never really had this Nepali community unless it was like a New Year's party or like a Dasai party, right? And then even then you see once a year like the same families and stuff. So it was so cool to see like the growth of the Nepali community. And when I saw you guys podcast, I was like, this is sick, man. Like this is so dope. So man, continue doing it, man.
Yeah, the funny thing is like I saw your contents like way before. I tried to reach out, but like you were out of the social media. And it's funny like how I got messages on my DM from, I don't know, your friends saying you should have Splash on the guy, and I was like, who the hell is Splash? And like I found out like cause he posted it, but let's say I knew this guy from somewhere because I wanted to reach out to him, and I saw your parents' photos, and that's the one I got stuck to, and I was like, oh, this is the guy. But like I didn't know you were Splash.
Yeah.
Like,
no
okay,
worries,
we gotta
man,
reach out, connect to you guys.
Facts, man. No, it's dope to see the growth, man. I'm and it's just always like for me, man, like I love meeting Nepalese like people, and like, you know, especially like the younger ones. Like that's why like you know, maybe that's something we can collab on as well, because I feel like your guys' network of the actual Nepalese students is probably bigger than mine. But I genuinely like, you know, if I can provide one thing, is like it's just hope, and just like more hope that you can do more, you know. And I think even when I did those events in Nepal, like for me, it was just, I just went somewhere and talked for 2 hours. But as I came every year, it was just like, oh, Dai, you know, because of your speech, I started. And some of those kids came to Canada and still do emails. And they're like, it's because of your speech in 2022 when we went to like, you know, the cafe and thing, whatever, right? So I want to start doing more of that, because I think, like I mentioned earlier, bro, I think that emotion of hope is kind of getting lost sometimes, right? And it's easy to, man. I can't blame people, bro. Like I lost hope a lot of times in my life too, you know. So I want to just give back more in that way, and you know, like really elevate the Nepalese community as much as we can, I guess.
Most definitely. I think something like simple as hope on it, giving hope to someone, it's big, man. Like it shouldn't be taken for granted. No, like you said, a lot of people lose hope, especially at this economy, at this time. I know the way people are struggling right now with the pressures from back home, PR ko pressure, काम को pressure, यो pressure, मेरो youth enjoy गर्न पाएन को pressure, कति कुराको pressure हामीले everyday सुनेर हुन्छ नि. So maybe from your experience, your skills, the skill set that you bring can, maybe, you know,
yeah. And even when I was in Nepal,
a small difference counts towards progress, and rather than no.
Yeah, and you never know like who and how it impacts someone, you know.
Exactly.
And like that's the crazy part, right? So like, even in Nepal, I think when I went last time, like my whole speech was in 2020 was about like, you know, opportunities को लागि बाहिर जानु पर्दैन क्या, you know. You can still like, because now I know kids in Nepal making like 30,000-40,000 US dollars a month running their operations in Nepal. If anything, they have lower cost because their office costs like $300. They have to pay their team nothing. They're earning US dollars, right? So I was just trying to expose to them, and it was not even just emails. I was like, hey, like if you're good at this, offer, you know, the online, or if you're good at this, that, or like if you're not good at anything, learn the skills, you know what I mean? Because everything, like you can get good at anything if you just put time and effort to it, you know what I mean? But I think a lot of times people just stay in like their own little bubble, and they just stick to what they know, and they never try things, you know. Like, so yeah, I would I can't wait to do that, and I'll definitely, you know, let you guys know so you guys can announce it as well. And it'll be cool to even just do it once a month, you know.
It'll be nice of you to kind of spend time, you know, take time from your own personal busy schedule, you know, and kind of do one for the community, to kind of give back and help out as much as possible. That's nice of you to actually even consider that.
Because I want to expose like so many people, you know, like successful friends that I have, successful Nepalese people, right? So they can see on hand their own people, like, you know, such thing. Or like, even like I said, like an example of Pukar, man, because that guy is like a very, like.
Is he one of the guys I met, Tamilma?
Last week he wasn't there. No, he's in Bali. So no, that was Bibek. You met Bibek. Yeah, so he's one of the newer ones. But yeah, so Pukar, like he, like, you know, he shocked me, because I've seen so many people go through our program, right? Kids that are born here, being like, this kid barely, like, you know, English is a second language. This guy has to work and go to school. And he was just on it. He was just on it. And that's what made me realize, it's like, you know, if, like I always say, like, if you have the will to find the way, you'll find it. And you know, he did, bro. And he made me realize that, like, you know, like if anyone wants to really do it, they'll do it. You know what I'm saying? And like that guy's been like a great, and even just showcasing his story to people, like it's inspired them too. So like little things like that, you know. So yeah, I can't wait to do stuff like that. I think Pukar's gonna be back next week too. So, you know, it'll be cool to just do a movie. You know, but we'll come over. We'll get some food too. It'll be nice.
नाम चाहिँ युनिक रहेछ के रे पुकर
Pukar.
That means like a calling.
पुकर भने कलिङ हो
Yeah, it's like a calling.
ए कलिङ
It's a calling. It means it's like a
ए
calling.
पुकारेको हो हैन ए पुकारेको रे
Interesting. Okay, I learned something new today, man.
Are you doing something Nepal ma bhane jasto लाग्यो?
Yeah, I'll be doing this a meetup. I'm gonna be there for like 2 weeks max. So I'm after the event in Dubai, like Nepal 4 ghanta flight though. So I was just like, might as well if I'm in that.
Are you still connected to people in Nepal or like how?
Yeah, I mean, some of the young entrepreneurs I stay in touch with. Some of the people that have come to our events, some of them actually ended up doing something. So there's actually there's a small community of entrepreneurs, online entrepreneurs in Nepal that's growing and it's going very well. And yeah, so I'm connected to them and outside of that family, of course, right? Most of them still live in Nepal. And yeah, man, I like visiting Nepal. It's always humbling. It's always nice. And then these meetups as well, they're always fun. So yeah, that's my plan. I'll probably just go there for 2 weeks and just come back right before my birthday.
Besides all these, like, what else are you planning on adventure-wise?
Man, for this year, I just want to lock in Toronto. I'm not really traveling as much. Maybe just 2 weeks in Europe, like in the summer, just to hang out with my friends. But outside of that, my plan is to just move out and just really, really just focus on growing a lot of these things that, with our events business, restarting content, really going harder with my personal brand and content. There's just so much I want to do, man. And I like this is the year to just like I said, I'll be honest, I've even last couple of years, I just haven't been me, I haven't executed at the level that I know I can. And I was in my head for a couple of years. I was mentally just not even right there. So I'm in a very good headspace and I'm really, really excited to just kind of execute a lot of different ideas and things that I have.
Content wise, TikTok ma, how active are you? TikTok, Instagram?
Well, consuming more than producing right now, I would say, for sure. But I didn't realize how powerful TikTok was locally until recently, bro. I didn't realize how powerful it was. So my friend lost my Ray-Ban Meta glasses, but I was gonna go buy some soon because I really like the POV videos. It's just it's easy, it's easy to film, and it's I kind of like those. So yeah, I'm gonna get, honestly, man. I literally just recently in this thing in the process of hiring someone for content, and to really just start trying to go to it. But yeah, it's been a while since I've just posted honestly anywhere, I would say. Last video I made on Instagram was, I think, about the Nepal revolution. It got 200K views. I was like, let's go. Let's go.
You should do more of that because since election is coming up.
Oh, word. I don't know if I want to audience a bunch of politics, you know what I'm saying? My dad was telling me to make a fall video. I'm like, yo, I just did it because I was it was exciting. It was a very emotional time. So I felt the need to, and so many of my friends were asking me, right? What's happening? I'm like, let me just make a video. So that was cool, but I was just nah, I know, I don't know. I want to honestly just talk more, fucking just make content about whatever, at least on Instagram and TikTok, whatever, bro. Sports, food, flipping, life, whatever I'm thinking, whatever's in my head. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually planning to especially dedicate an episode with Aligo NRN chairman regarding the election coming up. So, because I really want to, because when I go back, I don't want the same people in the seat.
Yeah, bro. I mean, I don't know much about Nepal politics, man. I've kind of been not involved, but NRN stuff, I used to be flipping, going to their stuff back in 2019 and stuff. It is jokes, man. Yeah, shout out to NRN.
Even मलाई पनि interest in politics until I actually grow up and start making money, because it matters recently who is in the seat and how that's how your tax and all the stuffs are dedicated to.
Will you go back? You think you're gonna spend your here or back in Nepal?
What do you mean?
Long term, do you see yourself going back and staying there?
Nah, I'm already a citizen here. I don't think I'm gonna go back because I don't know, bro, what I'll do going back again.
True. No, fair, bro. Trust me too, man.
Because I don't think
podcast, yeah, man. Podcast, why not?
My whole point is for people.
We'll start a coffee party there. No,
do that.
Chat party, chat party.
So my whole idea is my whole idea is people in Nepal. To know what people outside of and abroad are doing, Nepali diaspora what they're
real
doing
tough.
outside. Because we always listen to podcasts who are in Nepal, always. And they don't know what we're doing outside. So that's my goal, to reach out to people in Nepal and they're making this much money or whatever,
Yeah, 100%. No, it helps out, man. It helps out. Well, who's been your favorite guest so far?
My favorite guest, of course, I have to say my favorite rapper. I don't know if you heard him, Dong. Yeah, you should listen to more Nepalese people, bro.
I think I've been around like famous Nepali people, and for me, I was just like, I don't know who you guys are, bro. I'm sorry, I felt bad, bro.
Yeah, I'll send you my
Yeah,
playlist.
Yeah, like because I mean, I didn't grow up with like Nepali friends. Like I just had all Punjabi friends and like all mixture of stuff. So like even all the Nepali songs I know are all classics, bro. So like you guys gotta put me on, man.
100%. But this is also one of my favorite episodes because since we're talking like, Ani Temati is like, it's the first time I'm having a co-host too. So I'm like having the ease to like not confuse my head around so much because usually I black out. I mean black out on a blank out, And then now it's kind of like easier when I have a co-host.
100%, man. No, it makes a difference, man. He's a G too, bro.
त्यस्तो त्यो कोर्स गर्ने अरे हुन्छ I'm down for experience. I love
100%.
something podcast यस्तो गर्न मन थियो पहिलादेखि.
Yeah. I think indirectly so much opportunities will come from this for you guys, man.
100%.
So I'm excited for you guys. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Excited for you guys to continue growing this.
Yeah, आजको episode पनि I would say it's a little bit different to all your previous guests, हैन?
Yeah.
आज चाहिँ धेरै कुरा
It's more like informational but also fun.
Exactly. Motivation पनि थियो बिचमा हैन, हो भने सबै थियो. So like for me honestly, like I'm thankful that you are our first guest.
Oh, thank you, man.
With me being the
thank you for having me, man. This has been dope, really, man. I enjoy conversations like this.
We can do things together.
100%. We will, man. We will. I think like we said, like the community, the Nepalese community is probably only gonna grow, more and more in the GTA and all over Canada. And I think it'd be good to just take the lead and just do stuff, inspire other people, right? Like even you guys, man, seeing this is gonna inspire some people to do stuff, right? Or even try some stuff out, same way you did. Take the initiative to just try something. And I think man, it's the future's looking bright.
2026 we're taking over, bro.
2026
man. Yes sir.
Yeah.
Who else do you listen to podcast, man?
The podcast I've been listening to the longest, it's Flagrant by Andrew Schultz. I don't know if you know that. I've been on Patreon since like day one. I actually like, it's crazy because I started watching that before they're famous. So Andrew still checks my DMs, man. He'll still like reply here and there, which is kind of cool. Outside of that, because there used to be a sports podcast. So I listen to like, honestly, podcast wise, I listen to a lot of sports stuff and interviews. So I will, there's another show called It Is What It Is. It's just like a comedy sports podcast. I love sports, so I listen to that. But outside of that, like interviews, I like listening to interviews. People always just sharing podcasts, usually with CEOs. And recently, I just started reading more biographies or listening. I listen more than I read, so I started listening to a lot more biographies. But yeah, I'm trying to think what other podcasts do I listen to, man? Fuck.
Top 3 मा चाहिँ usually को हुन्छ, Joe Rogan हुन्छ हैन?
Yeah.
Joe Rogan छ, अर्को this lady who narrates stories यस्तोहरु.
Yeah, I listen to some of his, like, Joe Rogan, when he has like some good guests on, I'll listen to some Joe Rogan stuff. I listen to
Joe Rogan and Elon is always a listen.
Yeah, anywhere Elon goes to speak, I'll go listen, man. And even it's a lot of the Indian podcasts, they have so much good gems too. So I've been trying to like just explore that side a little bit more too, like some Indian entrepreneurs and such. But yeah, it's a mixture, man. I it's funny, like I think my most searched term on YouTube is podcast. Like when I'm bored, I'm not watching like a funny video. I'm just like searching podcasts, and whatever's there, I'll just listen to something there because I like hearing like unique, cool, conversations and such. So yeah,
you should listen to Theo Von then.
Yo, I don't mind Theo Von, man. I will say I went to his in-person, like I went to a comedy show. He's not that funny to me. He was not that funny. His podcast, I think, like, hot take, but like I think some of these podcasters are better funny podcasters than comedians. Like I went to an Andrew Schultz show. It was a master class of like public speaking. It was a master class. Forget the laughter. I've never seen someone control the emotions of the people in a room. Not a room, a stadium. When he wanted you to be sad, when he was telling a story and it was a sad part, everyone was quiet. When he delivered that message, everyone was extremely sad. And then when he wanted to lighten up the mood, people started, like, that was a masterclass in public speaking. My mentor always says, like, public speaking, like, speaking is one of the greatest skills because who are the top performers? I say Beyonce, right? Loud music, background dancers to get your attention, right? Sports, crazy things are happening, competitive to get your attention. Kevin Hart comes, it's him and a mic, and he's just talking, right? So it's like speaking is one of the greatest skills to have, you know. And that day with Andrew Schultz, he taught me that. And Theo Vaughn, man, I just didn't find. Like,
I just
don't
find
know.
him dumb.
Yeah,
I just find him
100%.
dumb. That's why I find him funny.
No, I've never said this out publicly, so I need to let it out somewhere. You know, yeah, you're not that funny, my guy. I'll just let it.
He's
Most
like
of
a
the names you guys
comedian.
are dropping are like,
Oh,
It's a comedian. It's like
Highest
comedians.
level.
It's these comedians.
You can Google him right now. if you
Oh.
wanna.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
comedian.
oh, I don't
Yes.
know, Theo Von.
I just find him funny because he's in like intellectually he's
Yeah, his humor is very dry, right? So I think in conversations it's funnier than like when he's trying to like say, because his jokes just felt too like white boy jokes, you know? Like I was like, yeah, it's just not.
THEOVON. Yeah.
Exactly that, bro. Exactly that. It was just too much forced like jokes, and it wasn't. I didn't enjoy it as much. I still listen to his podcast. I think he's funny as hell, but I think comedy is a skill and an art in itself, and I believe maybe just he's bigger podcaster than. I think his podcasting skill has outshined his comedy skills, in my opinion.
He's I think do you listen to Subway Takes? It's a new form of it's like very short.
Oh, is it the one where it's like, what's your hot take or whatever? And yeah, okay, yeah, I've heard about it. No, I don't.
It's like a kind of short form content wise, but it's really catchy.
I forgot one of my new favorite podcasts right now, related to like biographies and everything. It's called Founders Podcast. It's this guy who just talks about like different founders. So he makes podcasts on like business owners, period, like Steve Jobs.
Indian guy. Oh.
No, brown white guy, David Senra. It's by this brown guy. I mean, not brown guy. Fuck, you confused me now. It's by this white guy, David. Yeah, it's this white guy, David, and he just just talks about all these different founders, man, like from like Steve Jobs to Jensen to all that. And I listen to a lot of those because and even just been listening to biographies, I try to understand how these guys like how they're what their thinking process is, because that's more like for me, I rather know why you did something than know what you did. Because I want to know like what did you think and why did you think it that? Yeah, what was your thought process? What did you think that way, right? And I think I've refined my thinking skills through that, just like adopting some of these principles from them.
Who do you look up to as an entrepreneur?
I mean, Elon. Everyone looks up to Elon.
Why is he so much hated though?
Well, the thing is that there's a lot of stupid people in the world that can't separate politics, emotions from like reality. and in the game of media and politics, it's a losing game. Something I said when we had our Nepal revolution, I realized this type of thing could never happen in America or Canada, is because the media's job is to just divide people, right? In Nepal, that was able to happen because it wasn't your side versus my side; it was us versus them, right?
They have the whole protest TikTok.
Yeah, exactly, right. The reason I don't think it can happen in the US or Canada is because, let's say whatever started there happened here. One side would be like, oh, that's a right wing, that's a left wing. Yeah. And then they're always fighting, even with, now you see with like, let's say Charlie Kirk's death, right? There was mixed reactions, right? And no one's thinking objectively. They're just thinking what their side would think, right? So I think that's why with Elon, he made the mistake of getting too involved in politics. And, he involved himself with a very polarizing guy who's probably the most hated guy in history. So people couldn't do anything but diminish, his actual skill of who he is, right? And so that's why they get hate, and because a lot of people can't look at things objectively. They can't take the emotions out of like
I
reality.
think एउटा भिडियो देखेको थियो उसले सल्युट पनि गरेको थियो हैन त्यो जर्मन सल्युट.
Oh yeah, the Roman salute. Yeah, the Roman salute, man, crazy. Yeah, I mean, he is like so I read his biography, and that guy's probably one of the most interesting people because he's a CEO of like what 2, 3 or.
By now,
he's running so many companies, and people still say he is the biggest gamer I know. Like he's, I think, top like 50 in some of these like new games, right? And then even his biography, it's like a thing where people around him download games just to play games with him. So like, I don't know how he plays games, has 100 baby mamas, is running like all these businesses.
Yo, he's in every podcast.
No, he's different, man, and he's doing podcasts, and he's tweeting like 10 times a day, right?
So Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Yeah. So I really like Elon. I think, I don't agree with anyone on anything anyway, but what he's done and his story is kind of crazy. And what I like the most about him, and something I learned, is like, it's like fall in love with the game and the product, and money will just take care of itself. I think, like there's there was a story of him and Bill Gates. So Bill Gates is supposed to be this, oh yeah, we want sustainable energy, climate change, all this, but had a $1 billion short position against Tesla. So when Bill Gates and Elon met, he forget the meeting. He just went to him. He's like, why do you have a $1 billion short position on Tesla? Right? Because they were not doing that good then. And he's just like, yeah, we talked to my financial manager. It was a good monetary opportunity. To Elon, it just didn't make sense. He's like, money, money, he's like, he felt as if that guy, he's a fake person because you say you care about this shit, but you're a billionaire and you want more money. Elon uses all of his money and puts it back into whatever he's doing because he loves what he's doing, right? From his book, you'll know that he literally had a point in his business back in, I think, 2009, 2010, or, correct me, but he had a choice. It's either, okay, go all into Tesla, let SpaceX fail, or let SpaceX fail and, go all into Tesla, whatever, right? So he literally was in that moment, and for him to just come out on top for both of them, Tesla being one of the, biggest car manufacturers or biggest in the US since Ford, which is like hundreds of years ago or decades ago, and SpaceX, which is probably going to have the
they're going private,
highest IPO ever, right? So it's crazy. So I think he's inspiring because he's just so I think it's not about the money, and I think that's what I kind of relate to. I like doing things because I genuinely want to do it.
I feel like he's all about his product. He puts the product first, and then the money follows through. Yeah,
I mean, and that's the reason Amazon and any good company is successful is because they really care about product and customers, right? Because, I mean, that's what your business is, right? I think it was said, I don't know who quoted it, but it's like, we don't focus on our competitors because our competitors don't buy our products. And I always thought that was the banger. I think it was Bezos or someone. Yeah, Jobs. I've been reading Jobs' book recently, and that guy was a crazier person. I admire him in some ways, but I don't admire him in many ways. His character is very, very interesting.
Elon, even I listen to all his podcasts. Elon. Yeah, I listen to all his podcasts. Just because, he's so, I know, out of the systems, totally. And I'm like, oh, it's crazy to listen to, especially him and Joe Rogan sitting on the table, bro.
100%. It's great conversations.
I think about difference of theory is I don't listen to any of these stuff. Free time when that's it. Usually the motivational speech is what I listen to a lot, the moment I wake up, I'm routine gym in that span where I'm getting dressed and brushing my teeth and stuff like that, motivation on loud there. While I'm listening to that, getting ready, I plan out the day, and then that's it. Usually the main thing,
because most of the things you don't know about, you know from the podcast. When you listen to it, you don't know what's going on everywhere. So there's people coming and telling you what you're there.
No, actually, I was going to say All In Podcast. There's a podcast called the All In Podcast. It's actually these 4 billionaires. One of them is in Trump's cabinet now, but they are just talking about world events and what's happening. So I listen to them a lot, try to get kind of views, or what's going on. So that's another podcast I listen to actually. Really dope. I went to their in-person event in Miami last year, and talk about fucking events, bro. They had a couple billionaires as speakers, an F1 driver, and then their surprise guest was the founder of Google, Sergey Brin. And I was like, wow. I was like,
you went to attend the F1 events?
Yeah, it was crazy, man. So that podcast, because their network is different. Chamath, the brown guy from Toronto, early Facebook executive, right, billionaire now. David Sachs, PayPal Mafia, right, work alongside with Elon and all the other guys as well. But yeah, no, that's a dope podcast too.
We still got time.
Yeah, we will. We got time? I'm down, man. Chit chat. Lay back a little bit.
Relax a bit. Actually, the interviews just feeling podcast.
Now, once you start getting into podcast, you listen to more of it because this still in there. So even when I started, I was logged in every podcast. I was working. I'd have my headphones on. I was in the gym. I had my headphones on. Podcast because I don't know. I wanted to see how people initiate the conversation from the other side, and now it's kind of hard, but right now, I mean, but you cannot, because you always forget. And I always wanted to see how Joe Rogan processes this thing, he's just so nonchalant, but he's also paying attention to you. And then
I think he's just naturally curious, bro. Something he said is that he says so everyone wants to be on a show, so he just goes through the list of people that want to be in a show or people he knows, and then he'll just take off the most interesting people that he would actually want to talk to. You know, I think that's probably why, like, in same ways, you know, it's just getting curious, bro. You know, just getting very curious on the person, period, and like that's it. Like, cause like he's always, you know, like if you look at what makes a good podcaster, I would say is like the quality of their questions. You know, and I think he's really good at asking good quality questions because also he's a good listener. I've also been to podcasts where the hosts love the sound of their voice. So I listened to the recent one with Elon, and it was like, you know, whatever, it's his friend, but the whole comments are like, can you flip and let him talk, bro? Because you're asking him a question, he's answering, and then now you're talking and telling how you feel. It's like, bro, no one's listening to you. So, you know, I think something you guys done well, right? Is like when I'm just like listening and just like giving the space. So yeah, I think that's what he's very, really good at too, and I think that's what makes a good podcaster.
I think it's fair to say we did that. Give him space. Let him talk. You have to comment on it.
No, but the thing is, like, when you start talking and I start thinking in my head, like, key questions, and then I just keep listening to you, and then I forget everything. I was like, oh, what was I gonna ask? Okay, so it happens to me.
Here, bro.
Yeah, and I try
here
much,
for the
like,
assist.
I know exactly where you are because like I start having like code words to remember, bro. Because I'm like trying to listen to them, but I'm like they just said something that triggered such a great question. That's why sometimes even like you have a phone, I just write stuff down, man.
Oh, nah. Yeah. I try not to do that, write stuff down or prepare ahead because like I forget.
100%.
You know, because you told me like send me your questions, whatever, and I do not want to go chronologically, and like wherever the story catches on, I just want to catch up on that, you know.
So what I do is I still have a list of questions. Those are my backup. Those are my insurance. You know, that's if like if I'm like fuck yeah,
I got my insurance right here.
Yeah, because even for me, like I'm definitely naturally curious. So we might just be stuck on the one question for 30 minutes because we just got into a whole conversation and like I'll just let it flow like that.
Honestly, out of all the questions that I had here, we already spoke about everything.
Awesome, man.
And I'm surprised that we actually went in sequence as well.
Yeah, that's funny.
Right? So that like actually went out really smoothly. Like I think out of like all the questions I have here, maybe like one or two I asked you. Based on what I have here. Other than that, it just came out naturally. Like it just felt like a nice 100%. Conversation.
Yeah, I was just checking my parking.
Oh, you guys pay for those bullshit parking?
So
the green P? That's why I left because the private parking, I don't know if you guys know, when they give you a ticket, it means nothing. Like it's an invoice, not a ticket. I have around so I parked in the private parking down there. They're going to give me a ticket. I'm going to look at the ticket and I'm going to throw it away because it means nothing. And then they're going to send me a mail from their collections company that doesn't exist, right? Because it's their own collections company, and I just ignore.
Wait, so it's actually not real? Like you?
No, I'll show you. I have like 15 tickets. So any ticket that's not a City of Toronto ticket, never pay it. It's a private. It's me asking you money. It's like me literally. If you look at the ticket as well, they printed it. So in the top it says this is not a City of Toronto ticket. Like they're very smart with how they do things. So private companies have they can't go to your credit. They can't do anything. The government can. No. But it's like me saying it's like, bro, you owe me money.
They're basically a loan shark.
Collections agencies fuck up his credit because he owes me money, right? It's like that. So private company, basically what happened is I used to always pay for parking, right? And then there was in Yorkville, there's this underground parking, and I pay on the app, but it's underground. So I think when I pressed submit, it didn't go through, and I just went on with my day, and I got a ticket. Right? And I called the guys. I was like, yo, this is why it's happened. Or I even emailed them. And they're like, oh, based on what we saw, we can't issue it, but we can give you a discount. And I was like, what the fuck? And I got mad. And then I started doing a research on these private companies and whatever. And then like I saw like literally like there's a CBC article and a whole documentary they did on these private parking companies and how they're predatory. Because again, see, you didn't know either. Because people don't know. No, this is, bro, like, trust me, this is why I left the green P, because I was like, why am I going to pay $20 when I can just park for free, get this ticket? Respectfully, bro. No, I'm telling you. I get a ticket damn near every day, and I just smile, right? Because it means literally nothing. So, yeah, so they did a whole thing about it, and they have no legal grounds to come get your money. Even when they send me the letter and there's a collections agency on it, I Google the collections agency just to realize it doesn't exist. It's like me saying, McLaren Collections says you owe us $100, right? So like it's perception, man. They're very good at that, right? But if you know shit, if you actually can like deep research, I mean, man, I'll tell you guys some stuff off camera, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like the rules don't exist, man. Like I don't know how to explain it, but it's like you know, like reality is bendable in a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but I'll tell you guys some more stuff after. But yeah, private parking, as long as they don't have the thing where you have to get the ticket out and pay before you leave. If it's in and out, they'll give you a ticket, look at the ticket, tear it up, throw it away. They'll send you your email, they'll send you a letter, ignore it, means nothing. The only thing is that if they wanted to, they can tow you. However, good luck towing me in a very tight parking spot in downtown. And I've also done more deep research from people that work at these companies that have said that in 5 years we've towed 2 people. Because in a major city, when there's like people in and out, like, are they gonna just stop the flow of things just to tow? So it costs them more to do the whole thing than to just like hope people that don't know better pay the tickets and all that. So yeah, man, yeah, that's game for some of you guys that drive, bro. I will pay green P if it's convenient, but I just saw that there was this. I was like, oh, bro, free parking. Hell yeah, let's go.
Respectfully, this is my takeaway from this episode.
Yeah, no, it should be, bro. I'm telling you, I'll show you how many tickets I have, and I'll show you the letter I get. But when I was in Cape Town, because my mom doesn't know, so she's like sending me pictures like, oh, you're getting so many tickets, you need to pay. I'm just like,
Wait, so Green Pizza is city going?
Greenpeace City, parking Greenpeace. Yep, always pay anything government related. It's Greenpeace. There are. I've also had it though where I've parked in private thing and I got City of Toronto tickets. Right, so you gotta know what companies don't do that and what companies think. I'll tell you guys, I feel like I'm already saying too much and like I'm overplaying my hand right now. You know, like I'm already like I've got it.
This clip gets viral.
Yeah, like that's why we might have to suppress this. We might have to suppress this clip because I was actually gonna post this on my story the other day, but I thought I was like, yo, like I'm gonna like. Karma wise, I'm like I don't want to overplay my hand. You know what I'm saying? Because yeah, bro. So there's I'll tell you the parking companies and I'll tell you how to look for them and where you can find them and yeah, everything. I'll give you the game, bro.
A good takeaway.
Bro, the thing is you don't gotta listen to no one. Like, and I'm gonna leave this point before we go, bro. I'm a big believer in that, bro. It's like people are too rigid, right? For example, you go to Best Buy. The example for me was for our event we need to buy a projector, right? So Best Buy. What we used to do is like just buy stuff from Best Buy and return in 30 days. So they started having this thing called a restocking fee that if you buy something and you open it like sealed, there's a 15 or 5% or 10% restocking fee, which means that's the fee that it takes to restock or whatever, right? Because only on certain items, like, because, you know, people were abusing it, right? Like me. So when it was time to return our projector, I looked at because I don't want to do it. So I looked at my team member and I said, you're going to go return it. And when they say this 15% stocking fee, you're just going to say no. And disagree and make a big deal about it because we're not paying that, right? I don't care if it's their policy. I don't care if you have to call it. You're not going to do it. And he couldn't believe it because, like, you know, like, this is how I've always thought. I always, like, to me, nothing is real. Like, the whole world, like, to me, it's a game where this is a game we play and 90% of the people that don't know it's a game, right? So it's like, so even, you know, he was tripping, but when he did it and we didn't have to pay the 15% restocking fee, he's like, holy fuck, bro, that was like, wow, I can't believe that worked, this, that, right? Because I'm like, yo, you're dealing with people. You're literally dealing with another human. You know, it's just communication, bro. If you're really like, you know, I'm like, that's it. Like, if you know you can communicate and you know yourself and you know, like, you're going to stand on business, like, no one can tell you shit. You know, I don't, that's why I don't accept shit from people. That's why I even tell you, like, has anyone tested you? It's like, thank God no one has, because I'm just like, I you know, not that I would like lash out or whatever, but I sometimes wait for the day because, like, man, like, I'm a patient person, and I think I would still handle it calmly. But that's what I mean is like I'm just unfuckable with, bro. It's like no one can really get to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I think it happened from COVID too, bro. Because like I was very big on not wearing masks, and I used to live in a building. So every time I pressed the elevator button, I was ready to get on a fight with someone because like in the fight, in the sense of like it'll always be these bitch ass dudes that in the corner with their mask on. Hey, you're not wearing your mask, and it's like. I used to look at them and be like, hey, bro, do I know you? No. I was like, stop talking to me then. And I just walk out, right? Because it's like, bro, like nothing is real, man. Like people like always try to like impose things on humans. But it's like, nah, man, this is fucking this reality to like, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's a game, bro. Just go play the game, bro. Like all these rules are all man-made. I have to shit if you logically look at it. It's like, it's so flawed, bro. So it's like, you just got to play it, bro. Yeah. But yeah, pay for the Toronto parking though.
One takeaway.
Last words, man. Not much. I'm so glad to be here and like connect with you guys as well. I'm glad this was like a great start to a great relationship with you as well, brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like I'm grateful. It's so dope seeing this. I was so happy when I saw that. Wow, like there's a flipping podcast in Toronto for an episode. Like it was so dope. So I just want to see you guys continue to do this, and I don't doubt that we're gonna do some cool stuff in the future together. So yeah, hell yeah. Yes sir. Yes sir. Well, of course.
It's a wrap.